Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Yacach. Come, let us reason together. Today I have the one and only BK with us. He's our lead in CIC Ignite, which is the university wing of the church here in Leeds. So, welcome, BK. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Wow. It's good to see you. What is Ignite and what does it mean? What is it? We've heard of Ignite. What do you guys do?
So, Ignite is a movement. It's by the youth, for the youth. And exactly that, we aim to ignite the love of God, the fire of God in young people
Okay.
so that they pass it on and pass it on
Okay.
and win this generation for Christ. Ultimately.
Wow. So it's a passion youth for youth.
Yes.
It's a church of youth for youth, young people to ignite the passion of Christ.
Yeah.
So ignite the fire of the Holy Spirit, basically.
Precisely.
Wow. So what has been your experience as a young minister of God? And what has been the highs and lows of Ignite Leeds?
Of course, as young people, we tend to get excited and our imaginations are captured by flashing lights and this and that, the new craze, the new fad. So I find that the challenge has been innovating and keeping up with this changing world so you can
Okay.
still reach the people.
Right. So it means that you have to think on your feet, come up with new ideas all the time.
Yes, because like as you have said, I've learned from you that our competition is not other churches. It's nightclubs, it's restaurants, it's all of these new hip places, right? So you have to find a way to outmaneuver and capture the attention of the young people.
Okay. Wow. So
Those are the avenues.
that's so far how's it been? How's the ministry to young people been for you as an individual? How have you enjoyed it? What's the experience like?
Yeah, it's no question that it's difficult. Me being in university, myself and trying to juggle everything, because it really takes love and patience and care to look after other people, make sure they are well. But it is rewarding in that, right? Because you can literally watch as a person's life changes before you, and you get that satisfaction to know that you got used to.
Contributed in.
Yeah, it contributed to bringing that person out and getting to see people flourish and well in life and become more intimate and closer with God. That to me is the greatest satisfaction.
I was gonna you touched on my next question. I was gonna ask you that I know you are an engineering student, which is a very demanding course on its own.
Yeah.
So how do you juggle? You are an engineering student. You are in the choir, which is demanding as it is. You are in Ignite, leading and looking after people. It's also demanding as it is. And you never miss any service. So how do you juggle all that? And you have assignments to do. You have, your social life as well, and you have family that you have to always reach out to. I know your family is not around, but you have. How do you juggle all that out?
I think first off, obviously we're speaking in terms of ministry in the ministry and church setting, but it's very important for more importantly young people to have self-awareness, because through self-awareness I'm able to know at which time, say, I study the best, or I clean the way in which I glean information the best, so I can optimize my schedule,
Okay.
so that I have enough time to study. And also it helps to integrate everything. Let's say choir, for example, while I'm doing the dishes or I'm cooking, if there are new songs I have to learn, I play them along and as I sing along. So I get to bundle different chores and activities together, and that's how I'm able to manage my time.
Wow. So time management, and like you said, being a young person, you have all the temptations and all the what's it called, distractions, how do you keep focused on God and keep your relationship with God as a young person? What are some of your challenges and how do you overcome them?
Well, some of my challenges are obviously, as you've touched on, a thing of time, right? Or there's not enough time. I have assignments and pressure from the choir is demanding, people are demanding, Ignite is demanding, school is demanding. But I would say for me is to prioritize, is priorities, keeping priorities straight. Because if I have a couple of things to do at the same time, which one of them is the most important and the most urgent? And you ask another question of how do I keep my relationship with God amidst all of this? By routine. Routine that is stuck in stone. Because as soon as something is a routine, it becomes a habit. So you don't think about it. Even if you have other things to do and you are pressed for time, that it's something that you don't think about. Once you do it past a certain threshold, then it becomes a part of you. So it becomes, like as I said, a priority as well. So it's something that doesn't move. Anything else can move.
So as a young man growing up in a foreign country where your family is not, it can be difficult, it can be lonely sometimes, it can be, how have you kept yourself motivated? Sometimes you can get depressed, you can get, feel like, is it worth all the sacrifice? How have you kept yourself motivated enough to motivate other young people in Ignite, for instance, chasing difficult young believers around, trying to mentor? What has been the way you've been able to keep your head above water? Yes.
All right, that's an amazing question. I think one of the biggest reasons are previously, before I ascended into leadership, Ignite leadership, Minister Joe was CICC Ignite Leads leader. So the way in which I kept myself motivated was to speak to him. Tell him anytime I felt discouraged, or even come to Reverend Gloria or yourself, and let you know what I'm going through. Because as well, people who have gone before you, people who have gone further, people who have gone faster, it's very helpful
to speak to them
and speaking to them.
Right.
And I think as well, reminding myself of who I'm doing it for and why.
Right. That's very important.
Yes, because I've been called and sent by God. He's the one who invited me to do this work. Ignite. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So, as well, something yesterday we had an evangelism seminar in Hall. It was all something that you said that you are not saved for you. Right. You spoke of the verse. I believe it is in Ezekiel, where hell is expanding. And as Christians, I just watching people as they go. Isaiah, sorry. Right. Anytime I feel downcast and depressed, it's my love for the people that I'll just be walking to uni or in uni, and I'm just concerned of the people in the lecture hall. Like, what if all of these people, they're married to hell? Sometimes it's not a thing of do I want to or do I not, because necessity is laid upon
you. Yeah.
And if I don't do it, then who will? There hasn't been anyone doing it.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure that if I don't do it, someone will come in and people's lives are at stake.
Okay. Wow. That's fantastic and amazing. So let's talk a bit about yourself. How did you come to know Jesus? How do you come to have a relationship with Jesus? And how's your journey, your personal walk with God, the journey been so far?
Okay. Do you want me to start from the very beginning?
You can start wherever you want to start.
Okay. I would say the seed for my relationship with Christ was sown way back when, around 2009-10. I was living with my aunt and my cousin there.
Okay.
Though she wasn't a committed churchgoer, we would go maybe once or twice every 2 months or 3 months. Right. And I just remember being around 11 years old, and having that yearning. It came out of nowhere. I had that yearning to go back to church because of the few experiences that I'd had. It was a family, it was warm. But fast forward 2 years down the line, I've been going to church for quite a while. By the grace of God, the rest of my family gets saved as well.
Okay.
That helps me. And then a really low, my Christian walk was around 2019.
Okay.
2021, around there. Because I just moved to a new school, a new boarding school. See, there were things that I wasn't used to. To top it all off, my grandfather had died.
Oh no.
My grandfather had passed away, and I'd prayed for him, Also, having prayed for my grandmother years before to receive a sight, which she did.
Oh wow.
So I had seen the hand of God move. So I believed
That is gonna heal your
that was
grandmother.
going to heal my grandfather. But then, in my naivety, I forgot to consider the fact that maybe he didn't want to be healed, because he'd been battling with like health problems for a long
For a
time.
long time.
And
Yes,
obviously, if
diet.
you pray for someone, the Bible says that if any two of you touch and agree,
Yeah.
then it will be done. So if there's no agreement, or the person you're praying for doesn't receive it, then I forgot to consider that case. Right? And obviously, I was mad.
You're mad with God.
Yes. Right, partly because my grandfather was the patriarch. Right? He kept all of us in check. Right, and he was a good man. He taught me many things about life, even being a man. So I went about my business.
You left God. You left God in the room and went away.
I went about my business, and then things got really bad when I came to write my A-level final results. So then I was like, God, here I am again. If you'd help me.
You remember me?
Do you remember me? I've come back. Right, and in that period, things started to make sense.
Okay.
I'm in like exam room, and I don't understand the question, and it's like it's being opened up to me. And as a result of that, I got a sponsorship by the government of Botswana,
Wow.
which is why I'm here
Wow.
at the Uni of Leeds.
Wow. So you did fantastic in your exams.
Yes, the help of God.
Yeah.
And then when I came to uni, you preached about trust today. I still was a bit, I still hadn't returned to my former relationship with God, because that element of trust, I didn't really see myself trusting God. Like, oh, I really trusted you. I devoted everything,
Yeah.
And my grandfather had died. And then during Freshers Fair, I was going about, and there was a particular store, Orange, which stood out to me. I was ESCC Ignite Leeds.
Yeah.
I believe it was Nana. She was doing her master's.
Okay.
She stopped me and then gave me a flyer, invited me to church.
Okay.
Needless to say, I did not go for 5 weeks. I didn't go until I was on a call with a friend of mine from back home. Then she really exhorted and implored me to go to church.
Yes. Okay.
I came, I met with Pastor Kieran. He went out of his way, because I told him I wanted to learn the keyboard. He went out of his way to get a keyboard out of the basement to borrow me and send me tutorial videos.
Wow. Okay.
That I could use, right? And then I got to interact more and more with CICC Ignite Leeds.
Okay.
Which it transformed my life at the Huddersfield camp that we had last year. All of that hurt and that pain was just washed away.
Okay.
And God restored me, this relationship with Him.
Wow.
And I want to ignite that same love and
You
passion.
want to ignite that same love in others.
In others.
That's great. That's fantastic. I think that's all that it's about. That when you are on fire, the same love and care somebody showed you, show it to others, and also pull them up so that together with depopulate hell and populate heaven. So that's great. That's fantastic.
Exactly. That's what CICC
This Ignite is all about. Wow, wow. So I know there are other Ignite campuses or churches in different areas.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between CICC Church and CICC Ignite?
So
Are they the same church or is it a different church?
well, CICC Ignite is an offshoot of CICC as a whole.
Okay.
CICC is a church spread out in various locations over the world. But CICC Ignite is the youth wing
Okay.
of the church.
Okay.
That, like as I said, strives to ignite revival in young people.
Okay.
And we are across different campuses. The goal at the end of the day is to affect campuses across the UK.
Okay.
But like as I said, I'm CSC Ignite leader. There's Ignite in Hull. There'll be an Ignite in Bradford, Sheffield, Manchester later on this year.
So if there's a young man, young lady watching and they want to get involved in Ignite, the CICC Ignite, can they start Ignite in their universities? Assume, for instance, they are in Edinburgh or any other place. How do they get to start an Ignite on their campus?
On their campus.
Oh.
You could reach out to CICC Ignite UK on Instagram, and through then we'll be able to give you all the necessary support, whether it be people or even funds, resources that will be able to help you.
Okay.
And normally when we start a new fellowship in a campus, we'd have a big evangelistic event.
Okay.
Where there'll be a lot of music, there'll be the word preached, and we present Christ to young people.
Okay.
Right? And we're actually doing that. It's called Ignite 5.0.
Okay.
There's been a 1.0 to 4.0.
Okay.
But this 5.0 is different in that we're not only hitting one location. We start in 2 weeks in Hull, then we want to Leeds, then Bradford, then Manchester.
Okay. So it's going to be, like I said, crusade sort of.
Yes.
Revival crusade, which is Ignite 5.0. Okay.
Precisely, as has been the norm. So similarly, if one wishes to start Ignite, can reach out to us, and then we can organize,
okay,
pull it together.
Okay. All right. So you heard it here. If you're interested in organizing Ignite in your uni for young people, you can reach out to CICC Ignite on Instagram. You said
CICC Ignite UK.
CICC Ignite UK on Instagram, and definitely you will receive support. You'll be able to have a word contact correspondence with them, and they will tell you what to do. Well, it's been interesting talking to Brother BK. I can talk to this young man for forever. He's such a young man on fire for God, and he's very, very gentle, but he's full of wisdom. It's great to have him. It's great to chat with him. Until we come back next week with another conversation with another interesting personality. This has been Yacach. This has been your host, Pastor Chris. I'll see you next week. So, shalom, peace. We'll talk later.